Greetings and salutations, I'm Keb. Welcome back to this little let's play of Outpost 2, Divided Destiny. And of course we are still doing story time. Did warn ya. Okay, let's see. Mission 5, Briefing. Commander, data recovered from the expedition shows that the terraforming microbe breaks down organic compounds into their base elements. Scientists don't know how to stop it yet, and its growth rate is increasing. Unless a breakthrough is made, the Blight will consume the entire planet. We must start constructing another starship as a contingency. The first step of this project will be developing our rocket boosters and launching a satellite into orbit. Computer models show that New Terra has natural resources barely sufficient to support construction of a starship as the Blight spreads. We must continue to move just ahead of the Blight and exploit as many of these resources as we can. Projections also show that we are missing valuable data about the starship construction. Our scientists have identified a crash site of the starship Conestoga, which brought us to this planet many years ago, but crashed when its orbit decayed. To gather more data, we must prepare a convoy of scouts, cargo trucks and armed escorts to explore the site and recover parts of the wreckage. This will allow our scientists to reverse engineer the parts and expedite our new starship construction. We do not know what threats we'll encounter, and we must be ready. The standard lab will no longer serve for some of the more complex research tasks. An advanced lab must be built so new research topics may be pursued. These research topics may be volatile and prone to accidents. Be careful when you construct the advanced lab. It goes boom! Yes, it does. The tokamaks have shown that they degrade over time and require frequent repair. Pay attention to them or they may become unstable and explode. Same thing there. As our colony expands, we need better power production using alternatives. Our remote operations of vehicles is limited as well. A robot command center with dedicated savant computers will allow more control of our vehicles. The vehicles will also be able to use more complicated smart routing algorithms to improve their transit times. That might be why the vehicles were so obnoxiously bad earlier. Cargo trucks didn't use the paved roads. At any rate, the Robodozer has been proven to be useful in decreasing building times for structures. When placed on a pre-bulldozed area, structures are completed in substantially less time. Yeah, that's true, I forgot about that. Bulldozed roads will allow vehicles to travel over rough terrain much more rapidly as well. Medical centers will reduce the mortality rates of our workers and scientists. The area we have moved into has rich deposits of needed ores, and some unusual kinds of ores as well. However, this area holds a new threat as well, potential volcanic activity, which may be a side effect of the Blight. Computer projections of what we will need to succeed are shown in the special objectives list. So let's see, we need 40 children, 30 scientists, 30 workers, 20 scientists. We need to research a complicated topics, we need to have enough evac transports, a whole bunch of vehicles. We need to launch up a satellite, we need to harvest a lot of ores, and we need to have kits in storage. Pretty standard stuff. Of course, now for the most important part, the story. Part 5, Repercussions. Axon crouched down behind a control console and snapped an access panel back in place. He still made sure his duties before him to the command center frequently. Brought him to the command center frequently, even though Craft was now attached to the RCC. It was a good place to eavesdrop and observe, where an occasional nugget of information could still be found. Moreover, his political stock seemed to be on the rise. The council less interested in his movements, less concerned about his resources. More likely, however, they were just distracted or simply too busy to bother him. Axon was distracted too. New Terra was doomed, or so the scientists believed. They hadn't told him this, of course. They thanked him for his help, smiled their false smiles, and covered up everything, even Jensen, especially Jensen. But Kraft knew everything they knew, and more. Being separated from Axon seemed only to have made the amazing computer more resourceful, and its time in the CZ had given it unprecedented access to information. Its position in the RCC had allowed Kraft a front-row seat for the old Eden expedition. Now everything Kraft knew, Axon knew as well. The Blight was spreading too rapidly through the planet's crust, taking water out of the rocks, lubricating long locked faults, creating geological instability, surging forward on the wave of hot groundwater that it had created, repeating the cycle. Nothing short of nuking the entire planet down to the molten mantle would kill it all, and nothing less than killing it all would be effective. There was still token research being done towards creating a self-replicating counteragent, but nobody gave it any serious chance of success. The only hope now was to stay one step ahead of the Blight, gathering resources as they went, to re-establish orbital capabilities, to build another starship, and to find another planet to settle. He slumped back against the console and shook his head sadly. We've come full circle. Who knew it would lead to this? Who knew it would lead to this? Certainly not he, certainly not his fellow elders, when they decided that the colony's best chance for survival was to split in two. Now, instead of splitting things apart, all he wanted to do was hold things together, to put back together what they had broken asunder. But things only showed more signs of plying apart. He'd seen more graffiti this morning. He saw it almost every day. Every day. Oh, spelling error. And he'd heard a name whispered. Masters. What did it mean? Then there was Panati. The young man was cold and distant, and Axon couldn't figure out why. He avoided Axon, seemed careful never to be alone with him. Panati was still responsive when Axon asked for access to the vehicle so he could communicate with Craft, but Axon didn't know how much he could be depended on or trusted. Sorry about that, the cat distracted me for a moment. As for why this sudden change of behavior, Axon couldn't understand it. There was another woman, of course, a doctor from the nursery, but that didn't explain anything. He heard voices and the sound of men grunting under a heavy weight. He peered over the top of the console and was surprised to see Panati across the room. He and a pair of workmen were moving a cumbersome and heavy metal cylinder from which wisps of frosty gas emerged. Axon recognized it as one of the gene banks, the frozen depositories of Earth's genetic heritage. Along with the workmen, a man and a woman carrying sidearms and wearing the navy blue armband of the volunteer guard watched over the transfer. Axon wondered if this had something to do with the doctor from the nursery. If so, it seemed a curious kind of favor to be granting. Where were they going with the gene bank? Axon thought about simply asking, but he didn't think he'd been seen, and some instinct told him to duck back down and keep out of sight. Whatever Panati was doing, he was doing it in plain sight of everyone in the CC, so he obviously had authorization. Still, it didn't smell right. Their efforts to recover the digital backups of the gene banks from the original Eden had come, as Axon predicted, to nothing. 2 of the big quantum crystal memories had been located, but they couldn't be brought out without contamination, and the information stored within was too vast to transmit from the contaminated area. Axon couldn't imagine why anyone would mean the gene banks harm. They were irreplaceable. Foreshadowing. He considered just staying put and minding his own business, but it wasn't his nature, and despite himself, he was concerned about Panati. Frag him. What's gotten into the boy? He couldn't hear the workers anymore, but just in case, he stayed out put for a while before emerging from his hiding place. He glanced at the door. Panati and the gene bank were long gone, but he might still be able to catch up with them, perhaps learn what Panati was up to. A pale-skinned technician looked up from her work and glanced at Axon curiously for a moment. Was that a gene bank when I saw them moving? She shrugged. Looked like it, not my department. Let's see. Do you know where they were moving it? Not my department. Axon grunted and walked out the door. It wasn't that he thought Panati was up to anything. It was just that the graffiti he kept spotting had raised his paranoia level. The last time he'd seen anything like it was during the political schism that had created Plymouth, and during that revolution it had been he and his fellow elders doing the painting. He made his way out of the CC and picked up a scooter at the train station. Doubtless they were moving the gene bank in a cargo cart, and he would be able to catch up with them if he was correct in assuming they were headed for the nursery. He gunned his scooter, making the wheels squeal on deck metal, and roared off after them. They had a strong head start, but the tunnel traffic was light this late in the evening, and he made up good time. He arrived at the nursery only to find it locked up for the night. Could he have been wrong about their destination? He didn't think so. He'd followed Panathic's normal route from the CC to the nursery, but a new area of construction had created a possible shortcut, one that Panathi would be very familiar with, given his work. He spun the scooter around in a tight circle and backtracked. It was immediately apparent that when he entered the new tunnels, traffic was non-existent. A thin layer of reddish powder dusted the walls and other exposed surfaces, where traffic had not brushed it aside. There was also the charismatic chemical new building smell. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was a minor health hazard. Years of research had failed to eliminate outgassing from new synthetic materials. Smelly glue and plastic. He rounded a corner, almost ran head-on into the cart. He spun the scooter and laid it down on its side, sliding to a stop just short of the wreck. The cart was sitting at an angle, its nose crunched against the tunnel support rib. The driver, one of the workmen, was slumped over his controls. Panathi was face down on the deck, near the empty passenger seat, from which he'd probably fallen. The others were sprawled around the vehicle, motionless. Axon's hip twinged as he stood, but he ignored the pain and made his way to the male guard, the nearest of the five. He knelt next to the man and touched his neck. There was a pulse, and the man was breathing. While the others didn't appear to be injured, the guard was face down in a small puddle of blood. Axon rolled him over and saw the sidearm still clutched in his hand. Axon took the gun and pulled back the collar of his shirt and examined the wound. A soft slug had pierced the right shoulder, doing considerable damage, but it didn't seem immediately life-threatening. Then he spotted a small fire extinguisher near the one tunnel wall and noticed for the first time that there was something odd in the air beyond the new building smell, a pungent and sickeningly sweet odor. He looked again at the extinguisher's tank. They'd been gassed. He could reconstruct the scene in his mind. Someone, possibly in a pressure suit or breathing mask, had hidden along the tunnel in wait. As the cart approached, they'd flooded the tunnel with gas. The driver had been infected first, and the cart had crashed, but one of the guards had fought off the gas long enough to stagger out of the cart and pull his weapon. The guard had been shot for his trouble. Axon noted that the gun in the man's hand hadn't even been fired. He looked at the cart again. The cargo bed was empty. They've stolen the gene bank. Now he knew he was outnumbered. It would have taken at least 2 people to lug the gene bank out of the truck, and it would be logical to have at least one more as a lookout. He lifted the scooter, fired it up, and made his best guess at the direction they might have headed. His guess was deeper into the new construction zone. There would be few people to see them, and assuming they were wearing pressure suits, there were dozens of emergency and service airlocks through which they could reach the surface. For that matter, every incomplete building also offered easy access to outside. He paused long enough to activate the nearest disaster alarm box, then rushed headlong into the dusty tunnels. He didn't expect to find the hijackers, given their head start. His only hope was that the cumbersome gene bank would slow them down. As he approached a tunnel junction, he spotted a silvery object lying on the deck. He stopped the scooter short of the junction and leaned it against the wall. He cautiously walked over and picked up the object, retreating quickly into the cross tunnel so as not to be spotted. He rolled the brushed aluminium cylinder over in his fingers. A paint pen. Red. The tunnel to his right dead-ended, a few hundred yards on, and the normal overhead lights hadn't been installed yet. Only a few scattered work lights set up around amid the scaffolding pierced the gloom. He pulled the gun out of his pocket and, keeping his back close to the wall, inched forward. He heard voices and an intermittent hissing sound. A paint pen. He spotted the pressure-suited figure at the end of the corridor, hanging off a scaffold, putting the finishing touches on an enormous version of the divided circle he'd seen before. The circle covered most of a large set of pressure doors leading into the uncompleted factory module. He crept closer. The suit's visor was closed now, but he heard voices, so there were others around, possibly carrying the gene bank. Could they already be on the other side of those doors, or were they simply invisible in the shadows? He stepped out of the shadows and pointed his gun at the suited figure. "Don't move, I've got a gun." The figure let go of the scaffolding and dropped into the shadows. Axon let off a wild shot, but knew he hadn't hit anything. He hadn't used a gun in years, and he'd have to be much closer to have a prayer of hitting anyone. Unfortunately, he couldn't count on his adversaries being as unskilled. Ducking low, he moved closer, using scaffolding and piles of construction material to cover. He popped his head up, and someone took a shot at him, but he had time to make an important discovery. The gene bank was sitting on the deck right in front of this spray-painted symbol. That was good news and bad. It meant he might yet have a chance to recover it, but it also meant that whoever had been carrying it was now no longer so encumbered. He moved closer still and popped up long enough to let off another round, just to keep their heads down. He was back under cover by the time they responded with return fire. He popped again and spotted a pressure suit helmet only 4 or 5 meters away. He squeezed off a shot, and the soft slug pancaked against the plating with a metallic splat just to the right of the figure. 3 more shots in his direction, all mild. I might have a chance, he thought. Excuse me. Then he heard a clank and the sound of heavy machinery. A sound like a tornado nearly deafened him, and a blast of wind pinned him in his hiding place and blinded him with the clouds of dust. They've opened the pressure doors. He clinched his eyes shut and tried to recall the appearance of the doors where the control panel would be located. He'd only had one chance at this. He pulled himself around his barricade and let the wind carry him towards the door, trying to veer himself enough to the side to hit the controls. A stab of insulation smacked him painfully behind his right ear, and he felt hot blood run across his neck. He slammed against the right door, the control panel just out of reach. Though the open doorway he'd seen a flash of the building's dark skeleton silhouetted against his starlit sky. He felt the wind tearing at him and clawed his way towards the panel. Hot needles stabbed his ears as the pressure dropped. He pushed himself forward the last inch and slapped the emergency close icon. He didn't hear the doors closing and was only aware when the roar of wind stopped. He slumped to the deck and, tired with limited success, tried to catch his breath. He looked around. They were gone. Out through the doors, which, while he'd been struggling to survive. Then he spotted the gene bank. It sat on its side near the door, half covered with a sheet of light paneling. He pulled himself to his feet and managed to tug the panel clear. What he saw crushed him. He fell to his knees in front of the gene bank, which appeared to have been shot repeatedly at close range, close enough that even soft slugs had ripped through its aluminium jacket. The last of its liquid helium coolant boiled away from a puddle on the deck, as thousands of tiny glass vats spilled out through the holes and onto the floor, where they lay shattered and broken. He looked up at a symbol painted at the doors and screamed in rage. The plot thickens, maybe. Oh, so does my nose, apparently. Having a bit of cold. At any rate, that's the story. And yeah, we probably have time for a little bit of story, a little bit of play as well, because this mission's going to be very long. So yeah, we have lots of things to do here. We've done lots of research. This is the base mission again, which will culminate in launching a satellite. So it should last a while. Let's fire it up.
Command control initiated.
Oh, is it really this narrow? Yes, a very, very narrow map this time. But where are our cargo trucks? There they are, most of them. Not you, and I need
Food production
all you guys. The mine was down here, and the ore miner facility is where? There. Yeah, that's an ugly road. Is there another mine somewhere?
Power levels optimal.
Ooh, volcano.
Morale is good.
We'll check. Was that a volcano over here? Not sure. Let's see. Starter kits. Well, the residents of the agrodome, we can definitely pull those out. We are gonna need another ore miner closer to the actual mine. Research. Let's get started on that. Oh my goodness, where do we even start? Let's start with that. Rare ore processing, let's start that topic. Actually, we only have one scientist. That's fine. Extra residents, let's get that up and running. Vehicles. That's fine, we have a laser turret, which means we'll probably be under attack at some point. And the robodozer is going to go down here and just basically clear some spot down there. Did we have another one? We might. We have 3 available workers. I don't think I'm going to use them, because we are going to need to grow our population. Just to be sure, I think... Oh, we don't have any minerals. Never mind. Because we spent all of it building that mining thing. Yeah, I don't see any symbols lighting up. I don't think actually there are any other mines here.
New worker ready.
No, there's one up there.
Food production in surplus.
Never mind then. That's a lot closer to the mining facility. Food production is in surplus right now, but that could change, so we're gonna fix that.
Morale is good.
So we're gonna build one mining facility on the southern side here. On the northern side, we're gonna need more robodozers. You are gonna be needed up here. Though the presence of this laser turret makes me think that there are enemies inbound from this direction. I don't recall if
Structure completed.
a connection will make them stronger. I think that's there's something like that. I think.
Structure kit manufactured.
I think there's something like that. You know what? Yeah, you go up there. We're gonna build the agrodome here. And the ore on top of that. Load at the board, please. Right, we didn't have minerals. So no construction just yet. You are going to do nothing. You just move away here. And you're going to clear up the road. Lovely. Yeah, we're going to need more medicine. More everything. Yeah, we do need the university, because the university trains the infants into workers. So if I idle that, we're not gonna get... they're just gonna remain children. And that's not ideal. Right, the hot lab, that was the Might Go Boom building. But I do want this somewhere in this direction. I'm gonna build it there. That means we're gonna need to build a few tunnel connections. But now we have a little bit of ore. So with the mining beacon, look at that, much better mine. Much higher yield. Get the drone out of there. We are going to need another Robo miner. Eventually, at least. Oh, we finished the research already. Everybody, get in there. So let's see here. What do we actually have here? Robot image processing increases the sight range. That's nice. Hypnopedia increases sight. Oh, yes, definitely that. Don't need another command centers, that's fine. We need more space. We have a nursery, we have a university, we don't need those.
Vehicle ready.
Maybe we'll go straight for the med center. There it is, yeah. Little med center kit. Oh! Too many vehicles. He basically locked himself in there. That's
New
fine.
worker ready.
We've connected those, that's
Production
fine.
in surplus.
We have another overminer, we're gonna need another dozer. Need to speed up this process.
Power levels optimal. Morale is good. Structure kit manufactured.
Dirts are a bit expensive though. Very useful, but also very expensive. Resource demanding.
Vehicle ready.
The Gorf is basically for recycling items. I'm not gonna need that just yet, we're gonna build those. You know what, let's start bulldozing on the top side here actually.
Structure completed.
Now the medical center, we're gonna build it there. Yeah. And this is a bit annoying. Oh no, I was supposed to build... I'm an idiot. I was supposed to build this on the southern side. Okay, fine, we're gonna build yet another one. We'll have to once we get enough ore. Stupid me. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Well, at least we can use it as storage. How much does it cost? 2,000? Can't even see the cost unless we actually have the minerals available, I think,
New
so.
worker ready. Food production in surplus.
Okay, fine, that's okay though. We're gonna have one there, it's gonna be a short distance. So it's not all bad. It's pretty bad, but not all bad.
Power levels optimal. Morale is good.
But it is a bit of a screw up on my side. I apologize about that. We still don't have enough scientists to actually get full out of
Completed.
everything out. Bulldozing completed. Really? Okay, you finished bulldozing there, good. Do like that. Make a little square up here, please. Now, please tell me you have enough to start another. Common ore melter, yeah. So now we're gonna start a few cargo trucks up here. And this is gonna be finished pretty soon, yeah. That means we're gonna need more cargo trucks. And you too, sir. Not there, here. Yeah, we don't need a second command center.
Structure completed. Structure disabled. New worker ready.
Yeah, we want to mine this one as fast as possible because... Volcano, where is the volcano? There was one. Here it is. That'll spew out lava at some point.
Food production in surplus.
And that lava will destroy
Is fair.
a fair bit, I think.
Structure completed.
Exactly how much, I'm not sure.
Structure disabled. Vehicle ready.
And we built another cargo truck.
Power levels optimal.
We're now right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks on the southern one. 6 trucks. 6 trucks on the southern belt.
Structures disabled.
5 on the northern one.
Research completed.
Yeah, that's all the advanced tech stuffs. Volcanology. I want to be sure I know that when the volcano goes boom.
Structure kit manufactured.
I'm going to build a Gorf, because at some point we are going to be recycling our stuffs. At any rate, we now have the advanced metal stuff, which should mean that... There we go, yeah. Get a symbol for advanced metals. Was there another one? There's another one up here.
Ready. Morale is good. Vehicle ready.
I'm gonna build a common ore melter all the way in the south.
Seismic event imminent.
Okay, where? Well, that's up by the volcano, we don't really care.
Food production in surplus.
That seems good enough. 6 trucks harvesting from that one. Need to get a few vehicles out of the ground here. Gonna need vehicles. You're just waiting for the Gorf. We're going down there to construct the second ore system.
Warning. Seismic event detected.
Yeah, that's fine.
Structure kit manufactured.
And now we can have a common melter, right? Or a rare melter, yeah. Melter rare ore. And to start that, we need to build more robo-miners. So there are 2 mining beacons, one in the south and one in the north. I bet good money that this one is going to be a higher
Vehicle
yield.
ready.
More exposed, obviously, but... but where will the lava flow? Yeah, that's a consideration. Part of the map will be flooded with lava. I'm almost certain of that, I just don't know
Mining
where.
location surveyed.
Let's check this one. If it's higher yield, we'll have to go for this one first. But it's close to the volcano.
New worker ready. Morale is good.
And as the game says, you can pre-bulldoze things and that will be very good indeed. You're right, we already have the Robo Command Center, that's good. We're gonna need more scientists, but I don't want to reduce our number of workers until we have enough
Bulldozer
children.
completed. Food production in surplus.
And bulldozing complete, that's you then. There you go, bulldoze more. Create more roads.
Completed.
Ugh. The other fella finished his. Little bulldozing. So, just create a wide road up here. And you need to keep building vehicles. Can I set a destination for you? Like a rally point, I'm not sure. Alright, we're already building the Gorf, we're now getting the rare ore melter. But I need the vehicle up here to make sure that we know which of these are the most attractive. How long until this one goes up? It's pretty close. I'm gonna start sending the vehicles to the new destination.
Vehicle ready.
I can't put an actual rally point, sadly. I want a few lasers
New worker ready.
ready. I'm willing to bet that the upper one is gonna be the better one. Just because it's near the volcano.
Morale is good. Structure kit manufactured.
Oh yeah, let's prepare for the next ore miner location. Once that's done, we can disable this one.
Vehicle ready. Food production in surplus.
Just because, let's build a second robo miner. Might as well build mines in both locations. And by having two of them, we have a bit of overlap, and that's actually pretty good.
Power levels optimal.
I'm gonna build a dirt unit. We're getting more and more structures, might as well be useful. Yeah, right. Yeah, geothermal power.
Vehicle ready.
Second robo miner is done. We're gonna need more cargo trucks.
Structure completed. Caution. Power levels marginal.
Oh, we're gonna need a
New worker ready.
need a new power unit too then. Seems fine. We're getting this one to be a much higher yield. We have a fairly strong chain of trucks coming in. Just need to tell these trucks to go the new route.
Mining location survey.
And let's see, the upper beacon is higher yield. Yeah, that was expected.
Completed. Structures.
So we'll build this one,
Warning. Power shortage.
build this one there.
Already.
It's gonna need one
Kit manufactured.
little link there.
Food production.
And we have a power shortage. So we'll need to build another tokamak set. Okay. Also, I think I need to take a short break here, so we'll do that. For once, we'll pause within a mission. Remarkable. As always, thank you for watching.